beast approaches.
Oh, I got it.
Anyways, back to it. I don't have access to Weiss spells right now, which is weird, but...
This creature must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again.
We're also doing a shitload of damage, so we're good.
Feels lighter.
It's not the blade, but the skill of the user.
Thanks,
Strike
man.
him down.
I'm working on it. Oh. Oh boy. Oh, I really thought we'd have the 3 and that'd be it. Kaine's Dreams Encounter. Let me get another drink of water. Gently. Weakly. Softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. So sorry, Grandma. Couldn't avenge you. Shamed beyond imagining, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home, and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Ha! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are you? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought at the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No. Stop. Don't want to live forever. I want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's how you want it. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, thousands of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing it with sharpened pincers. Stop. No, don't hurt that picture! Kaine reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture into the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Ha-cha-cha-cha! I look like that? Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kaine laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaine wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish? Like a prayer or something? Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me. Save me. Kaine finally resorted to shouting at the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse. A freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh God, you were the best. Kaine glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet, then began moving up toward the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot, searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die. So why not let me have it? Have what? Your body. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy. And I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in the blood just like before. In response, Kaine shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah? Maybe, what of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kaine was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Kaine's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. Slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she had regained her voice. Stop. The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. Ah, what the hell, sunshine, screamed a voice. We had a deal. I thought you wanted to die. Grandma said, I can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern, the pattern of the shades, burn itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, sunshine. I think you and me are going to be good friends now. Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. Stop. Gotta stop. Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it, pleaded the voice. Hate's my favorite dish, and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood, then go out there and shut up. Shut up and get the hell out of my body. Your body? Oh, that's rich, sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? Bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see it dead. Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. Stupid idiot girl. You're possessed now, sunshine, and there ain't no going back. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. Possessed? Whispered Kaine. Yeah, possessed. You and me? We got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now. Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow. Darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, purred the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you? That big old shade that squashed your granny? We'll wrap him up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Well, wait, said Kaine. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What, you think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a good goddamn who you murder, honey pants. I just want a drink from the well. Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me? We could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part if you don't want. Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. Va ha 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 ha, screamed the voice. Look at you go. Oh, Sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So listen, my name's Tyran, and if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade. I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyran. Count on it. Ha! Laughed Tyran. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, just one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body, but if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, go soft, I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, Sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. It feels perfectly normal, she thought. It feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I am not a shade. I am Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn and the people of the area rose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world. Educated warrior.
Alive.
We did a lot of reading.
Stay alive. Stay alive. Grandma?
That line hits a lot harder now.
You gotta live. You gotta come back to us.
Especially because Emil is saying the same thing her grandma used to say.
Emil, you were the one calling me, huh?
You still recognize me?
Yeah, sure. I knew you right away.
Thank you. Kaine.
Good to see you, Kaine.
You look like shit. How long has it been?
5 years.
Oh, that's a long time. Any luck with Yonah?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadowlord.
This is for you.
Lunar tears. Did you make this?
It's just a little welcome back gift. It's not much, I know.
It's nothing like the one Grandma used to make, but... oh, hell. Thanks.
Excuse me.
Popola, we did it. We freed Kaine.
Hey, Popola, I trust you implicitly.
That's great. Listen, can I talk to you for a minute?
This doesn't make sense.
Please, try to understand. People are tired and scared and...
It's crap.
It's
So
okay.
this part we've all seen before. We're kicking Emil and Kaine
No one's
outside of the
sleeping
town.
outside. You and Kaine saved this village.
People are afraid of us. As long as you're still with us. Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
I'm sorry.
We'll see you later.
We're sorry.
Knowing how many of the cards Devil and Popola hold, that decision actually seems way more fucked up now. Like, clearly they know enough going on that's like, this is such a small scale issue. Can we just let the two people into the town?
Kaine always sleeps outside. How could I have not noticed that? How selfish am
I think Kaine related lines I should probably let not skip over since they have more meaning this time around.
What the hell is wrong with me?
We should turn in.
Didn't get much sleep last night. Yeah. Wait, why Devola? Wait, I think I said that last time too. It's two separate lines blaming both of them. I don't think I can skip this, but this one's not too long. So yeah, there have been... I've talked about the first attachment is functioning properly. However, continued caution will be required well into the future. Discussion about dealing with relapse cases will be deferred to the next conference. World Purification Commission Report, September 30th, 2032. Okay. Yeah, there are... I've made it no secret that I really like Kaine's character, but there's certain bits and pieces that I've deliberately not talked too much about. Also, I'm very curious what do things look like? My farm certainly hasn't grown shit, obviously. Oh, I don't have to. I looked up a thing that said that. Okay, this was an Act 2 quest. These are Act 2 quests. Okay. I think I might have... I probably have to get I probably have to kickstart the actual plot before a couple more of those show up again. But yeah, I think the ones I have completed stay completed, and the ones I have not completed, I still have a chance to complete. I believe is how it works. Oh, Devola first. Golly, it's gonna be a late one because that one took even longer than I expected. But I do want to get a little bit further tonight before I call it quits.
Hey.
Okay. Gotta do our sorry apology. Also, like, truly wilds from Popola of, like, 3 minutes after destroying the monster that has been locked in the basement for 5 years that almost destroyed the village. She comes in and is like, hey, two of the people that helped you do that, they need to leave right now. It's just absolutely wild timing. Stop, don't you dare. Let me give you the plot. I need the plot, please. Let me tell you the plot. Oh, right, yes, the plot. So this is actually interesting. On the second go-around, I also am curious, like, how does Popola's actions match up here? Because she's offering this information. NieR didn't even come ask, hey, do you know a way to get to the Shadowlord's lair? Just flat out, like, hey, by the way, I found out about this. She keeps saying be careful. Like, honestly, her life gets a lot easier if NieR dies, right? I know she's not flat out evil. She doesn't actively want that, but she seems very concerned with his safety, considering, like, if he does go and get himself killed, which it seems like he's honestly quite likely to do, wild.
Not to walk so much.
You'd think she would just let that happen. Yeah, I don't have to re-get this. Do I have to re-get the side quests? I guess I do. Huh. Okay. Weird that the fisherman one carried over, but none of the rest of these did, but that shouldn't be too bad, because most of them are just, like, gather up supplies, and I believe I keep all of my items from last playthrough. Like, let's just see how many robot bits we have. A lot.
Everyone seems to...
Hey there!
Okay, treasure map I gotta do some more stuff for, but that's fine.
Hey!
Do you? No. Okay, then we can chat with Devola. Because there's one other bit I want to do. Although, do I need to talk with any of... I forget. Do I actually need to talk to her to get the stuff? I think I'll just be safe. Okay, that's different. I saw that and I was like, is that the cargo one? I did do that one, but no, that's not what it is. Okay, well, any of the ones that I wanted have not shown up yet, but we'll see we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. We're going to travel to Seafront real quick to see if we can get. There's a cool thing I wanted to point out before we really get started. But anyways, there's certain aspects of Kaine's character that I've not chatted about. One of which is like her overall design. I'll be honest, I don't think like the character design from a character designer standpoint is actually that like great. I think it's a little messy, but one aspect of things that I think is definitely worth talking about is she's very clearly very sexualized. She wears high heels. Her chest has a lot of exposure. Her ass has a lot of exposure, and I think you could very easily see that and go like, yeah, what a silly character design. Something about Kaine's character that is, I think it's more clear in the Japanese translation. I've heard about that. The English translation actually makes it very unclear. For a lot of Act 1, you hear about how the Aerie treats her, about how other people treat her, and you're like, oh yeah, she's like half shade and understands why they think she's a freak, even if that's mean. And then kind of it's almost a plot twist when we get to that last chunk of the story that, no, for some reason, they thought she was a freak way before she got half possessed by a shade. So what was the deal with that? The best hint you get, actually, is just the description of... I'm going to breeze through some of these. Yeah, you just need a ton of shit. The physical description of Kaine in the very first one of those flashback sequences, which is that her physical description is actually a bit androgynous. Again, the English translation is not very clear about this. Guys, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to talk about a cool story thing. Please have a quest for me. Please have a quest for me. God damn it. I have to wait until it pops up for Devola. Okay. All right. Well, there's a cool thing we'll save for next time. But that'll be exciting. I'll go. I think there's the guy by the lighthouse is also a quest line I gotta pick up. But yes, there's an aspect of Kaine's character that is subtly written, particularly in English version. Kaine is intersex. I'm almost positive that is directly canon. If it's not canon, it is very much like meant to be the vibe of the character, I suppose. And that is actually, part one of those flashbacks was called discrimination. That's the reason why all the kids in the village pick on her and everyone calls her a freak. It's because of that, which kind of makes you like, the more you learn about the Aerie, the more you're like, you all dying is not a good thing morally, but I find it harder and harder to feel bad for you guys. Do I talk to you? No, there's a guy in front of the lighthouse that I talked to. And yeah, with that in mind, I think it is, it's not the same as Kojima going, you'll be ashamed for complaining that Quiet is super sexualized. And then it's just like, well, yeah, it's because she needs to expose all of her skin in order to breathe, because she's like part plant and does photosynthesis or whatever. It's like, that's kind of a dumb response. I think it is a very valid character-based choice for an intersex individual who is bullied for not fitting in to essentially express herself as femininely as possible, and just in finding any way to double down on that identity in order to feel some composure and solidity to her own identity, I think works great. I think that's a fantastic character choice. What happens if I keep shuffling? Is this also going to save over? Yes, all right. That makes sense. There's no need for me to go back to an unended ending, since we already been back here. So yeah, I think that aspect of Kaine's character is, and I think that's a very fully justified choice for why the character would dress so. I don't think provocatively is the word I'm looking for, but dress in that manner is because that is her her way of expressing her own feminine identity in a world that has, in her case, very much tried to tell her that she can't be that. And also, like, learning more about the grandma, we find out that her grandma was very foul-mouthed. That's the thing I forgot about, so that's a very fun character detail that she picked that up from her grandma. And then there's a very specific aspect, we find out clearly from the ending of the game, we find out, there's way more going on with the Shades than we thought. And one of the cool things I want to show you is something that I can't do right away because I don't have any side quests that pertain to it. But we'll find out more about the Shades in this playthrough. That is very interesting. I will say, I don't really know what the Gator Lizard Shade's problem is. That one really seemed like it was actually just an evil Shade. Maybe we'll find out more that I've forgotten about, but like, yeah, that thing definitely did show up and just crush her house and crush her grandma in what seems to be particularly sadistic way. So that was kind of fucked up. Yeah, clearly there's more happening with the Shades than we initially thought, and us looking back and fighting the lizard creature in Act 1, and her talking about her grandma in that sequence. There's a really cool thing that I don't think I'll spoil yet, but that scene makes more sense once you know about Kaine's backstory. I don't know. We can get more into this next time. It's getting real late, and I'm ready to call it quits. Because, man, we have beaten NieR once today. But we've got to beat it a couple more times, baby. This game's great. I'm excited. We can finally talk about the Shade Twist. I've been sitting on that for so long, and now we finally get to play through this half of the game again, knowing that we have that to just talk about and discuss, and I don't have to hide from it. I I can talk about the themes of the game and how I've... you may have noticed I went all in on the fuck the shades, kill all the shades thing. It's because I knew that's who the character is. But yes, I was aware the whole time that there's more going on. And I wanted that twist, even if I was doing it a little bit facetiously at point, letting the twist hit a little bit harder by driving home just how much these characters hate the shades, even though those are fucking people. We've been killing people the entire time. And yeah, particularly the most populous enemy we fight are like little tiny ones that are only like waist high. We've been killing those by the truckload. So I'm just gonna let you guys sit on that, process that, and I'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.